Hello, I'm Verdi Augusto, and this is the Schumann Resonance Harmonics channel on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for being here. If you're new, welcome. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hanging out. Please, if you will, like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if it's not too much trouble, please hit the notification bell next to the subscribe and select all, and that is so you will get all of the notifications. It's difficult. A lot of times people complain that they're not getting notifications from my channel and other channels as well. And so you want to do the best you can to make sure you get all the notifications that come up. And it will help you in the long run, and it helps me as well. So thank you for being here, and I appreciate that. All right, so today, this video is going to be under the subject of atmospheric electromagnetics. This isn't necessarily Schumann resonance uh, per se, but this is one of those topics I've brought up before. I bring this up regularly in the past when the data from Tomsk has been dropped out and there's been data voids. People will bring up what's here to the side of me, the VLF data from Cumiana. So when Tomsk SOS is down, people will oftentimes go to this and substitute it. And, a lot of times the common misconception is that it's exactly the same thing as a Schumann resonance is, but it's just from a different place. So naturally it's different. So this seems to be the running punchline, if you will, with the information from Cumiana that in the public's perception, in my experience here at this point, it's 3 years now into the Schumann resonances and atmospheric electromagnetics, and I have a really good touchstone on what's going on in this, in the media, uh, social networking platform of people's understanding of the Schumann resonances versus Cumiana here, VLF. So this is going to be, I'm the deep dive guy. This is going to be a deep dive kind of exploration of the VLF, monitoring what that is and why it's important and why it's not the same thing as Schumann resonances, first and foremost, why it can't be just, literally swapped out. Oh, that's not available, so we'll go to this, and you'll look at it and treat it the same way, because it very much is not. And there's a whole body of science that's supporting the Cumiana as an institution, as part of the 9 or 12, 13, whatever stations there are with the Central Italy Electromagnetic Network, CIEN. It's a network of stations around Italy that measure for seismic. It's not measuring Schumann resonances, it's measuring VLF and ULF and ELF or whatever. They measure different ranges. And so we're not going to talk about them all. I have in past videos, maybe I'll make a link somewhere to the link thing if I can, the card, see if I can get that to work, to some of the videos I've done about Cumiana and explaining about this CIEN, and why it's important and why we look at that and distinguish it from the Schumann resonances as of its own right, because there is research that's behind this data that supports, within the last 20 years has been a growing body and of this research. And I have myself bring up a primer top research in the field, Friedmann, Freund. I've also talked about this guy here, Renato Romero. He's done articles. I've done antenna. He does the VLF. He does a lot. I've done at least one video dedicated to Renato Romero and his work, and relative to what he's done. I've mentioned about him as a researcher, him as a technical guy in his own right who does a lot of amazing stuff that deserves accolades. So So this is an area I've touched on before. I've dealt with this. I've talked with this. Of all the people that know how to read the graphs and read the meters, I'm one of a few on YouTube who really truly know what we're looking at when we look at the meters and the graphs and the data. And there's a lot more people that are discussing and talking about space weather in general, CMAs and that type of stuff, quite honestly, rather than the atmospheric electromagnetics. I'm one of the few channels that deals with this just as a topic. The atmospheric electromagnetics and Schumann resonances as its own legitimate thing, and not just part of space weather and give the Schumann and all that. Mine is a specialized skill set. So it falls on me, it's incumbent on me to, talk more about, give, the VLF data. I did a video yesterday doing an observations on the modes, the Schumann resonances and the modes, and explaining more in detail about that. So this is another one of those advanced lessons that I want to do. My guides have suggested, I'm happy to do this. I want to do this. I'm motivated. It's in my teeth. I'm raring to go with this topic. And this is going to be probably going to be a long video. I got an hour's worth of an Aaron mix that goes with it, the Madagascar mix, for Bradley and friends and those of you who are, here for the Aaron mix. So this is, I'm going to just kind of introduce what I'm doing. And as is my style, I'm going to probably, cut out a 10-minute section, send it out as a little short, maybe with some music, I think. A lot of the shorts I don't do music, but, there's always copyright issues with the music and visibility issues and et cetera. So when I don't do music, it's, there's some good reasons why I don't do music or mixes. Anyway, this is a topic I've talked about with a lot. I've talked a lot about this, more so than any other channel. Like I said, I've explained the antennas, because a lot of the antennas that are here, like this particular one here, is the same type that they would use for Schumann resonances, even though it's carrying it's the hardware, the detector end is able to pick up a greater range through the antenna. This is a type that would pick up the Schumann resonances. And you got to remember, it's not necessarily in the hardware itself that is the difference of whether it's picking up VLF or Schumann resonances. The difference between the VLF for seismic and the Schumann resonances is that, first and foremost, is a higher frequency range, amplitude range. It's a different range entirely for this. But with the Schumann resonances, they're measured in the modes, which is different than the seismic and the VLF on the amplitude end. All right, so let me pause this for a sec, wet my whistle. Back. I have to say, I wear the glasses because I have to. I'm not a fan of the glare. As I'm looking at myself in the little monitor, I keep seeing the glare of the monitor light against the glasses, and it kind of drives me a little bit crazy, because I want you guys to have the impression that I'm looking right at you, but it's all fuzzy when I'm, put my glasses up and I can see the big letters over here, but this here is all fuzzy. So, thank you for understanding that. All right. So, and I know to you guys, that probably doesn't mean anything. It's just who I am with my glasses, and just, I'm here and that's enough. I have a higher standard for myself than other people do for me, I think. All right. So, like I said, so this is a topic I've gone through before, and usually with the understanding that it is distinguishing, that I'm kind of separating out the difference between the two of them and why they're different, and why it's important for you to know what's what relative to how they measure the signal, how they get the signal, all of this type stuff. Why is it important for you to know this? Is because it's very technical, and this is more of, more of the con, the cover, the con that comes with this, the deep science that people are not understanding, and why it's important for you to know the difference, so that you can't be uh, fooled, or just that's simple. You can't be bamboozled if you know the science and you know technically how the signal is made. Then you have you stand a good chance of protecting yourself from bad information. And this is part of what's going on with the like the ascension, if you will, is the spiritual growth of the person. This is really important, to be able to know the science properly, and to know that there may be something in the science for you physically that's happening or whatever, but what the science properly is first, before we move on to the more advanced stuff, or the metaphysics of other stuff that is based on some of the technical electromagnetics. Your spirit life force has an electromagnetic component outside of the body itself. This is really important. What they call the Merkaba, this is an actual legitimate thing, that there is part of a psychic, intuitive side of the humans, but it's a low vibration. And it is okay that it is a low vibration. And there is the other part of it, of the electric side of it, that's high voltage and all of that, that makes people crazy. That makes you feel alone and separated and isolated, and all the peaks and the spikes that people, oh yay, gamma. No, no, man, no, that's what's making you crazy. Simply, right? The amplitude spikes are what drive your thoughts to quicker and higher frequencies, that are taking your force, your life force, like beyond the physical constraints. And so, like, it would be good if you had the training and the conditioning to be able to balance that down in your lower energy centers. However, there's a misconception of what the higher frequencies really truly are. And so that's part of what the my job, the etheric technician, is to explain, not only the basic science and what's really important at the basic science level, and what it's not, but also at the higher advanced levels. You want to talk about higher frequencies? Well, it's fucking you up, quite honestly. You need to operate a lower frequency. You're a human, not a machine. Right? The machines operate a high frequency, right? If you're not a communicator device, sending wireless, no. Your intuitive side is the magnetic, the body felt side. And that's what is the most important thing to develop, the lower frequency range of the magnetics, not the higher frequency range of the electrics. That's not a friend to the human. And so it's important to know one from another. It's important to know the difference and why and wherefore from someone with and decades. I'm 53 now. The majority of my life, when I was 8, I helped my grandfather put the vacuum tubes in the Philco, a Farnsworth. We had a Philco, a Farnsworth, a Magnavox, a console, with vacuum tubes. So I'm old school and I'm new school, and I know technology from the ground up. I've been here. It's part of my life. It's evolved with me. I've evolved with it, much more so than other people, because I've stayed there with it. I've had a fascination of the technology from the beginning, and that's why. Well, you know what? People know I know my shit, and so you either resonate with this or not. Right? It's just that simple. Right. So So again, just summarizing, this is not new material, and this is more in a series that I've already talked about, and so I've gone over why it's important for you to know, the difference one from another. And this is coming from a place of my heart, really. Just it's that simple. I have it's why I came here. It's why I incarnated into this Earth school here this time, because a lot of shit's changing, and it's important for you to know what's the shit from the shinola, as Terence McKenna would say. All right, so, I'm working through an introduction. That's the preface, I guess. The introduction of the material is I'm going to go through uh, all of this. First off, I'm just going to introduce all of this page again and go through all of it. And there's our mascot, Henrietta, right? Henrietta, the hen, right there. And I'm just going to introduce all of this once again to you, in hopefully an efficient fashion, but it takes a good 15 to like half an hour to get through all of this, and explain it. And I'm going to introduce it here, and then I actually have a visual aid with uh, where am I? A visual aid right there, where I can kind of point out stuff. All right, so uh, there is that. So I want to discuss why the VLF, why the state is important. All right, and I've gone through this before, but like I said, maybe I'll try and find one of those little card things. Um, uh, and this is the advanced class. So I've talked about it. There's some of this going to be review. Some of this may be brand new. Um, I've learned some more stuff about this. So so there's three parts to this. Three parts. Four, I guess, including the introduction and the script, writing the script, talking about how difficult it is with the script. Yay, that's me. So the first part is the VLF, why and wherefore, and so we all know what we're talking about. Then the next one is, right? God only knows how long this is going to be. Giving meaning to unusual animal behavior prior to earthquakes, right? How effing fun is that? All right. And this is a new author here, Djokowoerjo Sastradipradja, which is not at all how that name is properly pronounced. But like there's an animal, this is an interesting subject. Say it was just keywords here. Animal ethology, that's a new word. Animal biotechnologies, livestock nutrition and metabolism. And so I'm going to go through the introduction. This is good material here. Uh, this is good material. Right? It's not that long, but it's like there's this is the second part of this video, and then the next one is the cows with Friedmann Freund, our friend, dear faithful companion, my dear cohort, Friedmann Freund, who I sent an email, but I didn't hear back from him, and I should send him another email because I did a bunch of videos for him, for this guy, for Friedmann Freund. And so I have there's another Friedmann Freund cow video in the back burner, and I still have to get to it, but this is in context with the pre-earthquake activity, right? So this is the third part of this, and this one is a little bit maybe I'll do the cows first and I'll do the other one because this is the simple summary and then the abstract. You know, so I don't know. So I have to do. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. All right. No, I don't know. This is all good. It's all good. I'm trying to figure this out, but I want to cover the three of these. I don't know how long this video is going to be because I'm going to put in some music. So I think right now it's like I'm 20 minutes into this. So I think right now what I'm going to do is play some music so we can do a smoke break and a coffee break or whatever, and we'll come back. Like we'll call this like a 2 lap dance song, 10-ish minutes. So. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna play some music and hold please. Okay, all right. So I think what I'm gonna do, we'll have a smoke break long enough to have a smoke break, enough to make it so that I'm gonna be having to clear my throat all over the place, but such as it is. This is our the Madagascar music I played last. Well, it was last night actually. A favorite of the family's. So this is in the Aaron mix. It's the name he put on it is Anna Werner, ANNAWERNER, and this is Aaron Mix Africa 3/9 2009. So it's the 9th of March 2009. So this is a good old school mix from Aaron Mix. All right. So I'm gonna play. There we go. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna shut up.
Boli, boli, boli. Anwa ke biani. Odimadi day, Akoda Medi. Odimadi day, Akoda Medi. Odobaya, Kamedi. Odobaya, Kamada. Odobaya, Kamedi. Odobaya, Kamada. Mara, 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 Midiye Bekumi. Odobe Kumio, Mara, Midiye Bekumi. Bidofu Bekumia, Mara, Midiye Bekumi. Odobe Kumio, Mara, Midiye Bekumi. Odokoye, Meninga. I've been drinking and sana minumo. Odokoye, Meninga, Fie. Nimware wonti, Dana Mabu. Odo Bekumi, Odo Yewu Bekumi, Maramdia Bekumi, Odo Yewu Bekumi, Oda Magidi Bayami, Soja. And Penny Father send the atmosphere, Rihanna said you won't, and the Martinasio. Debbie, Rihanna said you would, and the Martinas and Toko, Debbie Ada. Mamia, Okumari soon for a while. I'll get you an impression, Okumari, the railroad. I'll get you an impression. Oda Magidi Bayami. Oda Maria Robekumi. Odimadi day, Akoda Medi. Odimadi day, Akoda Medi. Odobaya, Kamedi. Odobaya, Kamada. Odobaya, Kamedi. Odobaya, Kamada. Mara, 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 Midiye Bekumi. Odobe Kumio, Mara, Midiye Bekumi. Bidofu Bekumia, Mara, Midiye Bekumi. Odobe Kumio. Metipana mewo, Ododo Bekumi. Mikayo, Aode. Mafiu, Midisia. Sandrone, Sandra, Namiu. Efimira Ukoya, Narewa. Efimira Ukoya, Nadinji Bekumi. Odo come Bekumi, Adidenu Bekumi. Odo Bekumi, Adidenu Bekumi. Ogasa, Unantia, Uniye Bekumi. Wanadu, Komono, Pampano Bekumi. Mekayo, Aode. Mafiu, Minisia. Oh, alright. Tena, Faudo imambe wabaima. Faudo imambe wabaima. Faudo imambe wabaima. Faudo imambe wabaima. Odo dia yentasi enu masu twaye tunu benu. Awo wabaima. Alright. Ye bebe diga kusi wachino mewa.